What it is, movie fanatics? We got it, episode 6, Power Book Force, season 3. Title is called Asset Forfeiture. Look, I was extremely excited to talk about this episode, especially the cliffhanger that we left off of episode 5. So be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, and most definitely share, as we just gonna jump right up into it. Diamond and Tommy just click it off with the tension, with a disagreement about what to do with the guns from the Yardies from the last episode. Diamond and CBI just completely eradicated the Yardies. Diamond wanted to give the guns to the rest of CBI, considering the fact that he just did all the work in getting the guns. But Tommy wants to negotiate the Assyrians into the coalition right off the bat. Like, it didn't waste no time. We literally 3 minutes into the episode and they're already at odds with one another. So I was thinking this was going to take a little bit more of a build up, but we right into it. Stacy finds out about Claudia's death, and it's the Ortega case is in the process where it can be into a motion to dismiss, considering the fact that Claudia was only the real side of witness in the case. So Stacy, she ends up meeting with Donna Jackson from the DNC, pretty much telling her, like, look, if you can't get a conviction, you're not going to be a very strong candidate for being mayor of Chicago. So you're going to have to figure out how to make a move, make a statement bust, right? Like, you need a statement bust right now for you to be able to get the votes from the citizens of Chicago for you to win this mayor candidacy. Stacy is just desperate at this point and finally meets with Vic, and Tommy rudely interrupts, comes up with this plan where Tommy wants to frame the Marquez cartel soldier for Claudia's murder, considering the fact that all the eyes are on Tommy for the number one suspect in Claudia Flynn's murder. Stacy is like, nah, it's unethical. I can't do such a thing. I'm well above that. But Vic and Tommy are pretty convincing as far as getting Stacy on board, where, like, look, you don't have a choice. Like, your hands are as dirty as ours, so you might as well just go ahead and just go with the flow with this one. So Tommy gets D-Mac to plant a gun at the Marquez henchman's house, and Stacy, she raised the house with the rest of the FBI, and people are just giving her the side eye at this point. Like, this is a little bit too sus right now, especially Bill Singh. We all, like, he's dirty, obviously, but he's definitely looking at it like, yo, this is not good. Like, this is not good for what we already had set up with the cartel. So I'm curious to know moving forward in the up and coming episodes how that's gonna be a backlash for Singh moving forward. Maria leaves her cell phone in the couch cushions as she's leaving to go to work, and Tommy finds the phone and notices a bunch of notifications and missed calls. Tommy calls the most recent phone number that was on her phone notifications, and it happens to be the Planned Parenthood. That's how Tommy ends up finding out about the baby. Soon after that, Tommy confronts Maria as soon as she comes back about the abortion. Like, yo, you didn't talk to me? Like, you just gonna go up and just do it? But as we discussed in the previous episode video, Maria felt like it wasn't safe for them to bring a baby into the world. She feels like, okay, cool, I'm down to be with Tommy, but at the same time, the baby doesn't ask to be here. So what is the point of us having this baby and the baby's not brought into the world into a safe environment? So she definitely wasn't down with it, which she had me fooled for a minute, because we saw a scene where she was at the clinic about to get the procedure done, and then boom, she just comes out and is like, you know what, I couldn't go through with it, I'm still pregnant. So I'm like, damn, oh, bet we good, she about to have this baby. Like, I was like, I'm so happy for Tommy, because remember, in the OG Power, he had opportunities to have a baby, and that was kind of short-lived. Like, I actually feel happy for Tommy, because he finally gets the opportunity to have a kid. It's going to be interesting how this thing's gonna plan out, especially the Miguel plot. Tommy, Diamond, and Miguel meet up with Che. They prove that they can sell more product than Miguel. Che puts Miguel on notice in this particular scene where it's like, hey, Miguel, if you can't handle the workload, I can go ahead and just give it to Tommy. He'll carry the load here. And Miguel ain't rocking with it. Like, he hella mad about this. Soon after, Miguel's henchman that's taking the product for the re-up he ends up getting pulled over and busted by the detective Bobby. You remember that's Stacy's soon-to-be ex-husband, and he's rolling with a new partner. The new partner's a little bit unethical. Like he over here bashing out homeboy's taillight and searched the vehicle without the henchman's consent, and they end up finding the cocaine bricks. His only one phone call, he ends up calling Miguel and telling Miguel, like, look, I need you to bail me out. It's a $5 million bailout. They give me $1 million for a brick. Miguel's flipping out because business ain't what it is. Like, he a little bit short on cash and he need about $500,000. So Tommy and Shanti are like getting like real close, and Jannard's really not feeling that. He walks in on them, smoking a blunt, chilling, talking, and Jannard's just like, what is going on here? And then finally he confesses the fact that, hey, I ended up meeting with Che, but he didn't tell Shanti, which Shanti was freaking livid about that situation. So Jannard made himself scarce, and he ended up doing one of the runs for Shanti, and that's how we end up talking to Manny about the possibility of a hookup to get some fentanyl. Jannard goes back and tells Diamond about the fentanyl, and Diamond's like, look, Tommy ain't with the fentanyl thing, so I don't know how this is going to end up working out. At this point, Jannard is like that little devil on the shoulder, like, yo, we don't need him, we can do our own thing. And Diamond is still trying to make moves within the coalition, but Jannard has this little way of being like, you know what, hey, you acting like a bitch right now. I think you need to go ahead and be a man and make grown man decisions. You don't need Tommy to hold your hand and do everything. They end up sitting down with the Chinese fentanyl connect. That's Madam Wu, Manny, Diamond, and Jannard ended up getting the deal done. Diamond's what I think I'm having a hard time with Diamond is the fact that Diamond has like these little spurts of when he just ends up flipping the switch where he can become like this ruthless dude, like that don't even care, where one of the CBI members was like, yo, I kind of feel bad about not getting Tommy involved in this deal. The whole time Diamond like, yo, we don't need Tommy, and he literally beat dude up. Diamond in that little mood where he like stand on business, like he ain't one to be crossed. And Jannard, his reaction to it is like, damn, that's my big bro right there. Like he flexing hard. Like ain't nobody gonna stand on him. Like it is what it is. Again, like something about Diamond where he just switches into it like an alter ego or something. Like it's crazy. But I want to touch on Vic, because Vic, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around what this whole Vic situation is going to be. Him trying to take back territory, and considering the fact that it's coalition territory that was given from Tommy to the members of the coalition, I don't see how him attempting to take his territory back is going to bode well for him. But we're going to continue to monitor that. We're just going to put a little bullet point right there for right now, but we're going to get back to that. But D-Mac meeting up with his little shorty, same girl that he's been trying to impress for like the past 2 seasons. And she's trying to motivate D-Mac, like, look, you can have a life outside of CBI. Like, you're like one of the, have like the brightest futures. Like, you one of the most intelligent dudes like I've ever met. And you over here minimizing yourself into this little box where like you can burst out and you can do your own thing. Like you can leave Chicago, you can be something for yourself. D-Mac is kind of like, you know what, like, yeah, you kind of low key right, but CBI is all I know. This is what I want to be. This is what I am. I can see her flipping him. I can see him leaving the game. Like, even though with his little dreadlock, little pushback, I'm like, okay, D-Mac, like you can actually see homeboy face. I can see a future for D-Mac for real, outside of CBI. But Maria asked Tommy to help Miguel and gives him $500K. She's like, look, we're about to be family. Miguel needs your help. He's my brother. He's about to be your child's uncle. You got to keep him in the fold. And I'm like, man, I'm sorry. If it was me, $500,000, that's a lot of bread. I couldn't sit back and just give somebody $500,000 just willingly. But Tommy ends up caving in. He's like, okay, babe, we can go ahead and give Miguel the $500,000. But in the fashion where he kind of embarrasses Miguel in front of his people. The way Miguel was just looking around in the situation where like, oh my God, who's listening? Like, this is kind of like, this is like me showing that I'm weak. I don't think he didn't take that well. And it's going to be interesting, but the dynamic is going to be Miguel's gang moving forward, how they decide they want to react to that type of behavior by Miguel receiving money from Tommy. We'll continue to monitor that in future episodes. But Miguel ends up meeting up with Ortega about taking out Tommy and pretty much told him, if you don't deliver Tommy on a silver platter for my guy to kill him, I'm gonna kill you. So, which leads into the cliffhanger of the episode where Miguel sits down with dinner with Maria and Tommy, and she breaks the news to Miguel that she's about to have a baby. And Tommy like, I gotta roll, like, babe, I gotta go. And Miguel's stalling Tommy from leaving the dinner table because he knows about the hit that he has on him. I kind of felt like Miguel was going to be like, nah, I can't do it. That's my sister's man. Like, and he's about to be my niece or my nephew's father. Like, I couldn't do something like that to Tommy. So it leaves off on that particular scene where he gets a notification. I'm assuming it's from Ortega with that rose they were discussing in their meeting where like, yo, I'm going to kill you. Cause like this ain't gonna fly. It was a pretty good episode. I'm not gonna lie to you. Asset forfeiture. I wasn't expecting that type of reaction from Miguel as far as Maria having a baby. I thought he was gonna flip out, to be honest. But that's episode 6. Let me know what you guys think. You know what it is. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is the Movie Fanatics. I'm up out of here, man.